This is Alida Pantone interviewing for the Fun Carpet the protagonist of Passionate Machine. Can you introduce yourself and tell us more about this show?
Yeah, hi, I'm Rosy Carrick. I wrote the show and I perform it, and it is essentially a kind of sci-fi caper that turns into a sort of very personal mission for one woman to save herself. So it's science fiction meets self-determination, I guess, via Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So during the show, I could understand that most part of the things are real from your real life, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's sort of autobiographically rooted, and it started. The start point is, imagine if you went into a place. So in my case, I was in Russia in 2015. I went into the museum of this Russian poet Vladimir Mayakovsky, and if you were in this place and you were handed a letter, ostensibly from your own future self, begging you for help because they had made a time machine and were now stuck 100 years in the past after a mission gone wrong, what do you do next? That's the sort of opening premise. So, I was an academic in other circles, Russian literature, but I know absolutely nothing about time travel except for everything I've gleaned from all of the time travel films I've ever seen and, stuff like that. So I was thinking, okay, well, what does Terminator have to say about this? What was the thing about the flux capacitor again? So it's kind of like starting in real laywoman's terms on about, how to start going about this mission. So far from being I think a lot of time travel stories have this sort of dystopian future about saving the world. This is really about, the unlikely admin and the nitty-gritty of time travel, where like, need an expert, let's go to Gumtree, that sort of thing.
What brings you to London, and is there a tour that you're going to do? This is the first date in the UK tour, so I'm doing 6 dates at Draper Hall in London. I'm doing the shows here because I won the Infallibles Award at the Edinburgh Festival last year, and Stefania Baciccio, who runs it here, offered me to do these dates. It's so wonderful. Today was the first day doing it, and it's just, I've never performed in a venue like this before. And as soon as people start coming in, they're talking to each other, has such a fantastic community spirit, and the setting itself is really cosy and welcoming and such a great place to perform in. So I'm performing, my website, rosycarrick.com, has got all the other dates on. So I'm doing the first half of the tour between now and June, and then having the summer off to frolic and have fun, and then starting off again in September through to the end of the year. That's fantastic. And so you really wrote a book, the book that you talk about in the play, and it's your PhD, right?
No, actually, my PhD is separate. This is just a book I was writing while I did the PhD, but it's I say writing. I mean, it's an anthology of translated poetry. So some of it is translated by me, but I also edited it. So it's all my favourite translations from other translators of Mayakovsky. So the book is called Volodya, and yeah, it's a real live thing with the real live strange bit inside.
Where do you find the energy to do all these things together, having also a daughter, like all these things, writing 2 books at the same time while studying? To be honest, I was just so excited when I was doing the PhD, and I finished that at the end, like I graduated at the start of 2017, so it's a couple of years ago since I finished that. But it was while I was doing that the Enith Arman, the publisher, got in touch with me and said, hey, first of all, they said, would you advise us on putting this anthology together? And then, we don't know what to put in, but we want to make it really good. Because Mayakovsky is a mad poet, like really avant-garde and crazy. So you read one translation of a poem, then you can read another, and it's like completely different. So I was really interested in that. And so first of all, I was saying, oh yeah, you should get this translation of this one and this of this one. And then finally they were like, we just do it. And I was just so excited. And I think that's the thing, when you're like really excited. When I found out that it was definitely going to happen, I was just crying with joy. So even though it was sort of I guess long work, just sort of typing it, the kind of actual labour of typing it all up, I was just so excited about it that sort of drives you on, I think.
Well, that's a show that is really inspiring, and I want to invite everybody to come and see the show.
Please come along. If you don't know anything about Russian poetry, that's fine, because the show isn't really about Russian poetry or any of the other things about that. It's just about how you treat yourself and what you'll do to save yourself and how mad you might be and many other things. That's probably an even worse description than the one I gave before. The bottom line is, come, you won't regret it.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.